What $1,000 rent gets you in Australia? Different cities. Alright, let's be real. Renting in Australia right now? It's like playing real-life Monopoly. Except you're broke, the banker is grumpy, and all the properties are already taken. Welcome to this video where we're diving deep into what 1,000 Australian dollars in rent actually gets you in different Australian cities. Not per week but per month. Because let's face it, weekly rent listings are just Australia's way of trolling newcomers. If you've ever wondered what kind of space you'd call home for $1,000, whether you're a student, a migrant, a traveler, or just plain broke, stick around. This video is packed with real examples, weird comparisons, and a little bit of sass. Don't forget to subscribe, smash that like button, and comment below if you've got a shocking rental experience to share, or maybe a deal no one believes you actually got. Let's jump in. Sydney, New South Wales. Let's start with Sydney. The beautiful, the bougie, the brutally expensive. For $1,000 a month in Sydney. Brace yourself because you might be renting a room in a share house. Not the whole house, just a room. In some suburbs, that room might not even have a window. Welcome to the Sydney experience. Let's say you're looking around Parramatta, a growing hub in Western Sydney. For $1,000, you might snag a small studio apartment, maybe 25 square meters with a kitchenette and a bathroom that's basically in the kitchen. Now if you go further out, say Blacktown or Mount Druitt, you could score a one-bedroom unit in an older building. It's functional, slightly retro but livable. If you're into flat sharing, you'll get a decent-sized room in areas like Strathfield, Homebush, or even parts of the inner west. Sydney tip: the further you go from the beach, the cheaper it gets. But also the longer your train ride. Melbourne, Victoria. Melbourne is like Sydney's cool, artistic cousin who wears thrift store jackets and drinks oat milk. For $1,000 a month in Melbourne, you've got more flexibility. In suburbs like Footscray, Coburg, or Preston, you can find one-bedroom apartments in older-style blocks. Nothing flashy but decent and often with off-street parking. If you're okay sharing, $1,000 will get you a huge private room in a trendy suburb like Brunswick, close to trams, vintage shops, and possibly a guy who plays the accordion at 3 a.m. outside your window. Authentic Melbourne. Go a bit further, Sunshine, Reservoir, or Where I Be, and you're suddenly looking at two-bedroom apartments or even townhouses if you get lucky. Honestly, Melbourne gives better bang for your buck than Sydney, unless you insist on living in South Bank or Docklands. Then you'll just cry and pay anyway. Brisbane, Queensland. Brisbane is where the sun shines, the city is spacious, and you can still find a unit that doesn't cost your kidney. $1,000 in Brisbane gets you something decent, even central. In areas like Woolloongabba, Greenslopes, or Toowong, you can get a one-bedroom apartment that's pretty modern and has air conditioning. Which, yes, you'll need because Queensland summers will roast you alive. Go a little further, Chermside, Carindale, or Kapalaba, and you're looking at two bedrooms or a small duplex. Some even have a little yard. If you're down with flatmates, you can live in a massive Queenslander-style house with a veranda, wooden floors, and occasional possums as your upstairs neighbors. Brisbane wins for affordability and lifestyle, but bring bug spray and sunscreen, and maybe a kayak for the flood season. Perth, Western Australia. Perth doesn't get enough love, and that's a crime. It's clean, coastal, and surprisingly affordable. With $1,000 a month, you can live like a legend in Perth. In areas like East Perth, Victoria Park, or Leederville, you'll find one-bedroom modern apartments with nice views and good kitchens. Head a little further, Morley, Cannington, or Balga, and you could rent a two-bedroom villa with a small courtyard and maybe even a carport. Perth is where your money stretches, your rent includes more space, and the sunsets are ridiculous. The only downside? It's far from everything. If your family's in Melbourne, you might as well be living in Bali. Adelaide, South Australia. Adelaide is like Australia's secret chill spot. It's peaceful, friendly, and your $1,000 goes a long way here. In suburbs like Prospect, Mile End, or Norwood, $1,000 can get you a solid one-bedroom apartment, often newly renovated. Further out, Salisbury, Parfield Gardens, or Modbury, you'll find three-bedroom houses for rent. Yes, houses, not units. With backyards. And maybe even a lemon tree. Flat sharing here is cheap too. You could easily pay $500 a month and live like a king, spending the rest of your rent budget on cheese, wine, and fringe festival tickets. Adelaide tip. Perfect for students and families on a budget. Canberra, Australian Capital Territory. Canberra. The city of roundabouts, public servants, and shockingly high rents for such a quiet place. For $1,000 a month, you're probably looking at a studio or one-bedroom unit in Balconnen, Gungahlin or Tuggeranong. In central Canberra, Civic, Braddon or Kingston, you'll need a miracle or a roommate to get anything under $1,300. It's clean, it's safe, but Canberra rents are sneaky. Also, half the year it's freezing and the other half you'll get sunburn just walking to Woolies. Hobart, Tasmania. Hobart is small, scenic, and a little unpredictable in terms of rent. In Newtown, Moonah or Glenorchy, $1,000 will get you a one-bedroom flat, maybe two-bedroom if the kitchen still looks like it belongs in 1993. If you're really lucky, you'll find a cottage-style house a bit out of town. Hobart's got charm. And hills. So many hills. Your glutes will thank you later. Rents have increased a lot in recent years, but compared to Sydney, still feels like a deal. Darwin, Northern Territory. Welcome to Darwin, where it's hot, humid, and housing is surprisingly affordable. In areas like Palmerston, Nightcliff, or Rapid Creek, $1,000 a month gets you a two-bedroom apartment or even a small house. Places often come with ceiling fans, carports, and sometimes even a pool. Just watch out for cyclones. And crocodiles. And rent spikes during the dry season when the tourists show up. Rural and regional areas. Want to stretch your $1,000 further than anywhere? Head regional. In towns like Bendigo, Toowoomba, Albury, or Launceston, you could rent a 2 to 3 bedroom house, possibly with a yard, a garage, and nosy neighbors who know exactly when you bring home a new plant. Of course, public transport might be limited. But hey, no traffic, no parking meters, and way more birdsong. So what does it all mean? Your $1,000 can go a long way or barely anywhere depending on where you live in Australia. It's all about trade-offs. You might sacrifice space for location or share a house to live closer to the CBD. You might move further out and get your own place with a lemon tree and a suspicious garden gnome. And remember, rental prices change fast. What's available now could disappear tomorrow. So always double-check listings, talk to locals, and don't forget to read the fine print like bills not included or no pets. Even if they're emotionally supportive. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Drop a comment with what rent is like in your area, or if you've ever lived in a shoebox-sized room that somehow cost $1,200 a month. We want to hear about it.